Wish my kids listen like that.
Sweat Equity Podcast.
That's all I can do.
That's all I can do, Mama.
Feels good to be back.
Good to be back. Chad Sweeting. Sweeting.
Yes, sir.
And Steve Confetti Ventetti. Hotty Toddy! God almighty, I
Yes.
forgot to do the Hotty Toddy the last
I know, you
3
totally
episodes. I can't believe
Been a while.
I know. I mean, I've been doing it on this podcast.
Oh, really?
So for the listeners out there that don't know, Chad, Steve, and I did a college football podcast called Triple Option. Didn't do it this year, but we wanted to get one in right before the wire, right before the national championship, and we're doing it now.
When is the game? Is it this Monday or next
We're
Monday?
Yeah,
we're
tomorrow night.
We're doing this on a Sunday night,
Yeah.
before the Monday game.
Talk about last minute.
Well,
We're squeezing it in.
we're in. There's some parallels to business I can throw in there if we really need to kind of put a
Wedge it in.
square peg into a circle
Mhm.
holes. But you could say Nick Saban, maybe the best recruiter ever, right? The guy just replenishes his employees. I mean, his players.
Urban
And
Meyer too.
Urban Meyer. Well, but Urban Meyer
He's
didn't have.
done.
He couldn't. He burned out.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Allegedly.
Well, Kirby
That's a
too.
conspiracy.
People like Kirby Smart also has those big bags they're dropping to these recruits. That's the word on the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Alleged. Well,
You
they,
were
they,
saying
You
allegedly.
were just in the state of Georgia. Is that where this came
exactly.
from?
I saw it. Well, yeah.
What about
It's
conspiracy
eyewitness.
theories for
Yeah.
that? Wow, that's a hold on. So he's paying people.
Well,
What are
of
you
course,
hearing?
man.
What are you hearing?
I'm hearing because Alabama 7 of the last 8 years have had the top recruiting class. Georgia for the past 3 years has had the number 2. So
that's true.
they just
'cause-
get recruits every single time.
No, he's right, and I think that's why Justin Fields is leaving Georgia because Ohio State's going to pay him more.
Yeah.
That's why you bound.
The bags weren't
Yeah,
big
true
enough,
story.
so they went to Ohio
He's
State.
transferring, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
No,
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't.
yeah, man. You've
Fields
been out of the loop. Yeah.
is
You,
I'm
you-
not
leaving.
like I barely know who he is.
And by the
Eric
way-
doesn't
Dude,
know who
I'm
he is.
like, I used to be so big into college football, and now I'm just like, I can't.
Who's your
I
team?
can't.
Who's your team, Eric?
Yeah.
Well, in college football?
Yeah.
USF?
Okay.
Dude,
So-
I can't. I mean, I went to UF for a little while. I can't do it. The Gators. I can't.
Oh man.
I can't do the Gator chomp.
Of course you can. Right over left. It's real easy. Right over left.
You're
Hey,
hurting
so,
Chad.
so Steve's Canadian.
Sorry.
He went to college at
Michigan Tech.
Michigan Tech.
Uh-huh.
So he's a free agent though. So I've been trying to. He's like a highly touted free agent. I've been trying
I'm
to get him
verbally
to come
committed
over.
to Tennessee
he's
though.
No,
a Tennessee
but
guy.
We're
all
trying
the
to
way.
flip him to UF.
Trying to flip me.
I've been taking him to UF games every year, so he's gonna be a
Yeah.
UF fan for the.
You know what though? Just to get back to the point, because I actually wanted to cover this. It's funny about Justin Fields leaving because I'm surprised he's not going to Oklahoma.
Explain who Justin Fields is.
Justin Fields, it was the number one
Yes.
recruited, number one ranked high school quarterback last year coming
Yep.
out of high school
Okay.
in the country. Commits to Georgia because he's from the state of Georgia.
For those that don't like
Don't know
college
at all.
football, it's
Okay.
a big deal.
It's a big
Yeah.
deal, and he went to a school that has a top 5 NFL draft prospect at quarterback, Jake Fromm, who will be coming out next year after next season. And so he goes there, thought he was going to start, realized he could not read the defenses fast enough in the SEC and make the throws. However, athletic enough to play. As you can see, he had like 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns this year. He can play, but he's leaving because he's clearly not going to be the starter next year, and he wants to play right away.
Mhm.
He sees the opening at Ohio State, but we don't know if Haskins is leaving yet.
I think Haskins definitely leaving. I
That's
think
the
he'd be
incumbent-
stupid not to.
He
QB?
should.
Yeah.
Correct. Quarterback for Ohio State.
A lot of guys have him as the number 1 overall NFL prospect.
Absolutely.
So.
And
Eric's
he
gonna be
is.
a mime this whole
Yeah.
episode.
He's actually the number
Jesus to the
17th
camera.
rated overall, but number 1 quarterback. In
Yeah,
the
number
draft.
one quarterback,
But
yeah.
depends on who you have ranking because there's Kuiper and McShay.
Bucks can pick it about number 5. I wouldn't be mad. But anyway,
Right.
go ahead.
But anyway, long story short, because it's getting long, is Justin Fields he already said he's leaving Georgia and he committed to go to Ohio State. Now he's got to sit out a year, which is terrible because you shouldn't have to do that if you're transferring schools.
What are the rules now? Because it used to be you couldn't You always had to sit out a year. If a coach leaves,
You have to sit out a year. Hold on, just if you want to leave on your own accord.
Yeah.
As long as it's not because of a coaching change,
But
then
that,
you
that
can
used to be
then you have to sit out a
bullshit,
year.
right? These guys who recruit you, they spend a lot of time.
Correct.
Like,
Yep.
we love your family. Your family's our family, and all that
Mhm.
shit. And then they leave to go do a better job.
Correct.
And then you're like,
Yeah, go coach wide receivers
oh,
for the
cool.
Browns.
Right.
Yeah.
And a
Exactly.
year out of
Right.
football, you're seeing it on the pro level with like Le'Veon Bell. It'll be interesting when he gets back because when you start getting hit again, it's different. Like if you're not in game shape,
Once the Bucks get him, I mean,
Yeah.
he'll get back. in
Well,
the
we'll
game
say you
shape.
can also do a hardship waiver too. Not only if your coach changes, but there are guys who have who've got the 1 year sit out rule waived because like their mom has cancer and they want to move closer home. So
Correct.
you can also use that. So there's some kind of shady deals where a family member's sick, but they're not that sick.
There's also the graduate transfer rule, which means if you
Yeah.
finish your degree before your eligibility is up and you can play, as long as you have your degree done, you can transfer without sitting out.
And that happens all the time.
It does happen all the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
And did they go on to the pros?
Malik Zaire left Notre Dame to go to Florida, but he
I was
didn't
gonna say,
pan out.
what
It
is it?
happens all the time.
All offensive linemen?
Yeah.
Like
No.
all kickers and punters?
I don't
know. There's a lot of good players that do it. But to get back to Justin Fields, I'm surprised he went to Ohio State because technically the last 2 quarterbacks that have transferred to Oklahoma from a different school both won the Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
And Justin Fields has the ability to win the Heisman Trophy. And Kyler Murray's leaving. Why wouldn't he have gone to Oklahoma?
I agree. I think Oklahoma's the place to go, but
I do too, but I just think Ohio State's paying more.
Are you guys saying follow the money, I guess?
Follow the money.
I mean, it's got to be because why wouldn't you go to Oklahoma? You're set. You have a great coaching staff. You have great, offensive support around you. It's a great school. You got the notoriety now for the Heisman. You have 2 guys go back to back.
I was randomly talking about, and this I think is kind of a good topic. We've talked about this on the podcast every year, at least throughout the year too, about paying kids to play college football. And I was talking with my dad this morning, who's a pro football player, played at UF.
Raced OJ.
He beat Tommy Smith in a race, who's the Black Panther guy.
Right.
That's the track guy.
But lost to OJ.
OJ's way better.
OJ, he was on the.
But he raced OJ. You said your dad did.
No, he was on the
What color was his Bronco?
He was on the Playboy All-American team with OJ. So I have a picture of
I don't know
my
how I messed that
dad.
up.
Oh yeah,
in
all hugged up
Playboy
with his dick
All-American. You could probably find it.
Playgirl.
1969 team.
I believe you.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's awesome that there's a picture of my dad and OJ
That is
in the
crazy.
same photo,
Mhm.
pretty close to each other. So
nice.
they both play running back too.
Right.
So
Anyway, paying players. Sorry, we got digressed.
I was talking about that with him today, and I was like, "There's got to be a solution," because he was mentioning that, and he used to not ever bring that up
Right.
that people were getting paid. Maybe
Of course they were.
he didn't really touch on it too hard, but he was just saying, maybe there's some money going around. I was like, huh.
Of course there is.
But of course, but I'm saying like, is that a better system than just being transparent and like?
Well, here's the problem. If you're transparent, you say you pay like all the football players, whatever, let's pick a number, $30,000 a year or something. They're still good. The biggest players are still going to get extra.
Correct.
On the table.
You're not gonna be able to stop it.
So, so I don't like that even money thing because
The benefits don't even have to be
that's
money
not how the
either.
market works, right? That's not a punter is not the same as a QB,
Right.
right? My thing is like, if and I could go either way on this. You could talk me on the other side and go, look, you're getting a $120,000 education or whatever it is
Yes.
now.
That's where I am. I'm on that side.
Well,
I'm on the other side. I think they should get paid because it's
Not
they
while
make
playing.
I see
billions
both
of dollars.
though.
Dude, having to go to class and be basically a pro football player, like that's a lot of time you're spending. It's like
Try
It
being-
is.
you want to get a job.
is.
Try
too?
being a backup like Steve was. Like you never play, but you do practice, and then you go against first team.
I did well in school though. Lots of time to
And
spend
you're
it.
a slot receiver, the most hated of all. No,
Where'd you play at?
oh
yeah,
Nintendo
never
U.
mind.
Tecmo Bowl. He was really good at Tecmo Bowl.
He was good. Tecmo
Bo
Bowl.
Jackson, Tecmo
I
Bowl.
got too many concussions in high school and had to quit. I used to go blind on the field. Yeah, fun times. But
Jesus.
yeah, I used to go partially blind, so I'd be an outside linebacker. If there's 2 wide receivers supposed to kind of shade out, I couldn't see one of them at all.
Yeah, crackback.
Physically can't play inside linebacker.
No, they were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Smith?" And I'm like, "What? Oh shit! I didn't realize there's trips to my right or something like that." So, what's it called? I was on top of that concussion game before everybody. But
You had CTE before it was cool.
well, how about UF? I tried to throw that out there. UF, yeah, nice drop.
was trendy.
UF used to do. I remember the rumor used to be one of the dealerships. I won't say it by name. They used to give a lease out for $1. I remember Cadillac when I was at Auburn. Cadillac Williams drove a Cadillac, and I was like, "Okay, what's going on here?"
Early marketing.
I don't get it. I don't want to ask. I don't care. But like, it's very peculiar that. Why drive a Cadillac?
I think it's like
Cadillac,
what they do
but-
to avoid that is like I think it's like shell companies in business, where they have like here, bring it back to business.
Tell me
They'll
how
have
that
like
works.
so like I think the school will give money to like one guy, and then that guy gives the money to another guy, and that guy's and it goes like through so many different filters that it's untraceable. And now all of a sudden it's coming from a family member. That money's coming from a family member,
Exactly.
and
Cam
it's
Newton's
untraceable.
dad. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's how they do
Dropping
it personally.
laptops.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how you gotta
throwing
do it.
laptops out the
Auburn
window.
Auburn won the bid. I mean, that's why they got Cam.
Or you can't.
Well,
you can't pay me $180,000 to go to Mississippi
Well,
State.
you couldn't
pay me
outplay.
that.
He couldn't outplay Tim Tebow. That's why he left.
Wow.
Don't.
I don't think that's why I left.
We can argue about.
I thought he left because he stole laptops.
Well, he did that too, but
not because he couldn't compete with.
He was behind Tim Tebow.
Chad,
You think he would have?
Chad, it's been a good episode. See you later.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, the NFL stats of both players, I think, speaks for them.
Well, we're talking about college, though. This is not an NFL podcast. This is a college
practice.
podcast. Tim Tebow is an undeniably
Not
great
really a
college player.
podcast,
We're talking about free market system though as well. Like
Yes.
I do see
Okay.
this as a microcosm of how the economics of society works. Like
But it'll never happen
Sure.
in college because you have to pay every single athlete, male and
and
female,
the
in
NFL
all
likes
sports.
because
What about a merit system?
You don't have to. Yeah. You
No,
don't get to pay
just straight
everybody.
no.
helmet stickers.
No discussion. No merit.
But you can't because of Title IX. You have to treat everybody equally.
What's that?
Oh,
That's, the,
with the
that's the
women.
lady one, right?
That's the lady one. Yeah.
Something like that. That's a statute that states that you can't discriminate based upon gender.
Well, they have the same merit
Anyway, in
system as
sports.
the men, or playtime, or whatever it is that you want to use as the
That's
metric.
weird.
But not all
I mean-
people have access to get the same type of meritorious achievements.
Exactly. So they shouldn't get as much money.
No, but they have to, the law says. You have to treat everybody the same.
Well, we would have to change that law.
Okay, well,
wouldn't we?
there you go.
You know
That's
any
where you're
lawyers?
getting at. Maybe.
This,
But
this is turning into
that
a
law's
men's
not
rights podcast.
MRA.
Me too for the.
It's about time. Women stop playing sports.
Us white males have had it hard for so long.
But that's why. But that's what's going to hold it back, I think, initially. But again, the way to get this done is not to pay them when they're in school. It's
Is hold it off.
kind of like you were saying. If
Oh,
you
put it in
have,
a trust?
If you have enough
Something.
merit,
That's
I like that.
that's
Exactly.
the closest
if,
I can figure
if
out.
you have enough merit to where you are able to distinguish yourself from other peers that are playing in the same sport as you, and you have the ability to profit from that, then you can get whatever profits might be stemming from that success after you leave, and you can be held in trust or any other method that's
Here's
agreed
some-
upon to
Here's
hold that
something
money.
crazy. Maybe you graduate and you get it too. Like that should be a qualifier. Maybe
Why not?
Okay,
But
yeah.
the problem is you
incentives
can't do that.
and punishment, right? Incentives and penalties.
So what happens
That's
if
how life
you are a
works.
top first round pick and you leave after your third year? You shouldn't get
Fuck
that money
that
anymore.
30
You're
grand.
gonna get
They
paid
don't-
Yeah,
NFL.
exactly. They don't give a shit. They're going to
Yeah,
still
but-
leave after the junior
right.
year because they're
I
going to
want
make
my cash,
$5
bro.
million, or they're going to get this
Sorry.
like
I want every
$80,000
dollar.
Why
that's
can't
in a
you- why
trust.
can't you
Because
do
your
both?
Because your NFL, you should be able to get both because your NFL career
I didn't say you have to do it
is
before.
not guaranteed. You get
employed.
hurt after 1 year. You want to get as much money as you can to maximize
You can
what
do
you've
it
made
before
as
you're
a player.
30 in this scenario. In my
That's what I'm
in my
talking
world,
about.
you
Thank
can do
you.
you can
Yeah.
finish college before you're 30.
Well, no, you can't force people to go back to school if they don't want to after they've made $100
No,
million.
you don't. You're not forcing anybody. It's incentives and penalties. That's how
Oh,
the
I'm not
world
saying
works.
you're wrong. I'm just saying I disagree with it. That's all. But it's,
Yeah,
it's a good way.
That's actually the very definition of saying
we
he's
mention
wrong.
you're
saying you
Canadian?
disagree.
No, disagreeing and being wrong are two different things.
You're
You
being
should know that.
politely telling he's wrong.
No, that's
I
not
don't
true
know
at
what
all.
you guys are talking about. All right, you guys should give your government all the money you have.
Well,
Okay, Bernie Sanders.
If we're done, I actually have a topic that's kind of on a little bit economics and
Hit
business.
it.
If you want to
This
hit
is
it
like-
back in, yeah.
This is like the sports reporter.
popped in my head.
Sports
What
report,
do we
I
think
like
about?
that.
You know that the federal law got knocked down about sports betting. What do you think about bringing sports betting to Florida? Pros and cons.
What
You
happened?
didn't hear about that? Yeah. So there's a federal law that prohibited any sports betting except for the exceptions of Nevada and I think
Jersey?
New Jersey, or
Yeah.
but
That's
now
right.
like Delaware is also sports betting.
Delaware's
and-
sketchy.
But the thing is, the states have to opt in. They have to pass a law to opt into it. That's how they're going to get sports betting.
Okay,
So what do you think about bringing sports betting to Florida?
I'm for it.
Yeah, you should be able to bet on anything.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of. I'm for prostitution.
prostitution. Let it.
And but you can't be a loud supporter. It's like being a weed supporter.
Yeah.
You're like, look, man, marijuana should be legal, and then like that guy fucking
Nah,
smokes
you
all
can,
day.
Yeah, you
So
can-
the only
So you can't be like hookers should be able
Yeah.
to be. We don't need to put police, money on them. Like we should.
mark
they should
that
be able
time.
to-
I'm gonna
should
chop
be
that
able-
up and put it in.
They should be able to be paid in the free market and all this stuff. And then it's like that guy definitely. That guy definitely fucks hookers. Like,
Well, that's also why it's so hard to get these, what do they call them, like the church laws or whatever. For Sunday, you can't buy alcohol till 11 o'clock because you can't get a politician to come out and say, yeah, we should be drinking early on Sunday morning where everyone's going to church. Everyone thinks it, but you can't get a
Well,
politician to support
here's
that.
the problem. Here's
my
the
whole
problem.
thing is like I'm always setting up for a barbecue when I was doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I worked at a club in Birmingham called the Stardome, and it's a comedy club, and I was like,
Yeah, I love
Plug.
I didn't push any buttons yet.
I love the staff there. I bombed so hard every night there. It's like Medieval Nights the way they have it set up. So it's like people are eating as I'm hosting and bringing people up, and it's like, fuck.
Horseback.
I can literally see people with like a fucking chicken leg and eating, and you're like, I can see people's faces and shit.
Just
The
sheen
gleam
on
of-
their
Yeah,
face.
they have grease on their face, gleaming off of them.
Like, hey guys, you guys ever sleep on an air mattress? No? Okay, see you guys later. my thing is like I was setting up to go to a barbecue that Sunday. I just wanted to buy beer to bring, and they're like, sweetie. And
That's
I'm
everyone. That's you're going to a tailgate. You need to buy beer in the morning.
I'm
but
like, I'm not gonna fucking drink Bud Ice Light in the parking lot and just like pound it and then go drive into a playground or something.
Well, it's the same thing with sports betting. Like, what politician is going to stand up and be like, "Yeah, I want to be a sport. I want sports betting to be legal."
You can at least get away with taxes, though.
Yeah, you can spin it that way, but that's what I'm saying. It's hard to pass it. Is what I'm saying. It's hard to pass that law.
Here's the other issue too, and I don't want to just play devil's advocate, but it's the obvious one. If everybody's seen Blue Chips, Shaq. You have to make sure players.
Anthony Hardaway.
You have to be aware that players could potentially get involved in betting by throwing games. When you allow college football or college sports, because the kids will want money and they will do this, and that's a problem because now the games won't be legitimately played.
Let's think about that.
Players get kickbacks.
Let's already break that down.
Happen.
It's really hard to throw a football game.
It's already happened.
I know, but
basketball.
Basketball is easier. You're right. Football's hard. It's 11 guys on the field.
Quarterback and a kicker probably could do it pretty good.
It's not hard to fake that you're dropping a ball. It's not hard to shank a field goal. I mean, these guys could do this when there's betting lines on the line.
You'd have to be the guy in the program that has a drinking problem that sits on the train tracks just about for the train to hit him.
Joe Kane was legit, though.
Yes, exactly.
It's the best football movie ever made, by the way.
You got to get someone weak-minded like that, but has the.
No, there's lots of people who want money. They're not weak-minded.
No,
they want money.
But
especially if you're not going to the league. You have a chance to throw a game, they'll do it. They'll get paid. They get the payday.
But do you think that sports betting doesn't go on right now? Illegal sports betting? Of course it does. I know a guy who runs a sports book.
I know guys who've thrown games that played.
Exactly.
So let's legalize it.
I'm telling you, this will make it worse because there's going to be more opportunities now. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, think of that. I'm not saying you shouldn't make sports gambling legal. I'm just saying you have to be aware of the unintended consequences.
What would be
I didn't know you were
the easiest position in sports to have to throw a game? Like
say it again.
Hockey. Sorry? What would be the easiest position in sports to throw a game?
Goalkeeper for hockey or
hockey goalkeeper, right?
Soccer,
right? Just
soccer goalie.
I would say point guard in basketball because you can easily turn the ball over so many times and keep the score at a certain place.
I'd say soccer except for Columbia's team.
Yeah, you get killed for that.
Do not own goal yourself.
Try and win. You win.
Oh, so Law, you didn't hear about this. So Steve and I went to Vegas a month or so ago for a buddy's wedding, and guess what? I got Steve to do. He played the spread.
Range?
No.
Play the spread, baby.
He's played the spread on several games. Remember?
And won several times.
Yes, he did.
To fill in Eric and the rest of the listeners, we used to go over like top 3 games.
I only pick winners like Sam Rossi.
And Steve would never. He would just only pick straight up winners, and it's
refused
annoying.
To play the spread. Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Annoying to say the least.
It's annoying when we're doing a
play to win the game, not to win the spread.
And I need to bring. I lost those Sam Rothstein glasses for De Niro from Casino.
And to buy some new ones.
Where you get,
I'm with you.
I don't know. I'm painting the picture for the audience out there, but the big sunglasses, and you're just sitting there like, I only pick winners. I only pick the winners, and just you got it. So what? How'd y'all do?
Steve did well. I picked the Gators to win. It was FSU weekend, so I picked the Gators to win. We picked UCF to beat USF. Sorry, Eric.
Got that game.
Yep. But then the problem is, Steve was smart. Steve stopped while he was ahead. I was like, I'm good at this. I'm awesome at this. I'm gonna keep betting. So I put like 3 or 4 more bets down. I lost all 4 of my bets after that. So I ended up coming out.
I took Ohio State to beat Michigan. Won that one.
Yep.
That was big. You took Michigan, I think.
Yeah.
So
and you guys didn't murder anybody, right?
No.
Okay.
It was fun.
So that
best of my
to me, that's like a thing of like, why isn't this legal everywhere?
Yeah, it was fine.
It was good.
Yeah,
like Vegas exists.
I'm not saying
Atlantic City smells like piss, but
yeah,
it exists. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It does smell like hot piss in a lot of places. There. I'm sorry. That place sucks.
So let's talk about the championship game. Unless you have something more to add there.
Okay.
I was going to say
championship game.
5.5 point spread right now.
Who's in it?
Alabama's
Is it ITT Tech
versus DeVry. I like DeVry.
That was quick.
They really beat Grand Canyon U.
Was it a Phoenix University
game?
Haven't heard of that one. Grand Canyon.
That's one of the most profitable ones no one knows about. Whoever did that one.
You want to talk about pyramid scheme? No,
Trump University. Let's not get political. Don't get political.
Yeah. Steve's already been regulating this whole episode. What are you talking about?
That's a true story.
He loves it.
So Alabama's favored by 5.5. I'll take Alabama all day on that. Is anyone taking Clemson?
Is it even fun anymore?
I'm taking Alabama to win by 17.
There you go. So
spread's there.
Yeah.
So when what was it 2 years ago when they played?
They play every year. They
Clemson?
played. This is the fourth year in a row they
But
played.
it was in Tampa 2 years ago. That's correct.
Is it
Deshaun Watson.
really?
Yeah,
in the
fourth-
championship?
No,
Not
they
fourth
played
year in a row.
Oh,
Fourth
I
time
was-
they played.
That's
fourth
how
time,
out of
but
touch
the
I am.
championship
I was like-
twice, 2015,
Correct.
2016, they
That's
played in the
correct.
championship. Last year they played in the semifinals,
but you
and
don't-
Alabama handled
But
it.
Eric, you don't watch college football. This is like fucking with my brain because I'm like, no way that happened.
Yeah.
But they played in the playoffs 4 years in a row.
We did the podcast. It felt like you're covering it because
Yeah.
I would watch and write notes and shit while I'm watching, but now I can't remember any of it. Almost like
It's a mind fuck that Clemson is good now.
well,
For years.
all
It's
the-
been good for a while.
It's like,
I
oh,
think the
God.
theme of the episode is follow the money.
Dabo Sweeney.
Mhm.
That stupid name.
Pizza parties.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he used to do pizza parties.
Pizza bagels. Made
Well, like as a job?
Like pizza
No.
parties for the
like
kid,
for the fans when they won.
Yeah.
Like pizza party if we win.
Where?
At Clemson.
Just outside?
Yeah.
In the park?
And everybody watched Full House together.
By Howard's
TGIF,
Rock.
baby.
By Howard's Rock.
People eat that shit up.
Yeah, and I said you have to go Hungry Howie's if you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go butter.
Cheapest
butter,
5-star
Right.
pizza.
Don't say
cheap
buttercrust.
Buttercrust, baby.
Oh, Cajun crust, man. It's all about Cajun.
butter-
butter
crust,
garlic,
butter
butter
crust.
garlic.
Yes.
That's good too, but Cajun.
Cajun
man.
crust
I
is
love
trash.
Cajun crust. Oh man, I'm leaving, man.
And LSU, you could do that. You can make that happen.
That's a Gator one.
So I'm going Clemson, and my
Ooh.
my,
To win?
My pop, no, my
take the
pops.
points.
My pops kind of taught me into it.
Oh.
He liked.
Tell us the breakdown.
I mean, he just liked what Trevor Lawrence is bringing to the table.
So
He's
do
good.
I.
He's a true freshman though.
Not against that Alabama pass rush. That
So-
front sevens and eat them all day.
To fill you in, Kelly Bryant was the starting quarterback. He transferred
Should've went
because
to Oklahoma.
freshman
Yeah.
bro.
To Missouri, of all places.
that where he
Yeah,
went?
he went to Missouri.
Let's go North Carolina.
No,
I
he
know-
went to Missouri.
I know he picked
Yeah.
Missouri. Yeah, SEC.
It's crazy.
So Trevor Lawrence is a bro. He's my,
Oh, yeah.
He's my white brother.
Yeah,
with
that's it.
blonde
Kind of
hair.
looks like you, Law,
Yeah,
except
yeah.
for like blonde hair. Right?
It's
Yeah.
a-
His hair's not as gray as yours.
He's not as girthy as I am, but
No, he said gray, not girthy.
Oh,
It's-
what?
I only
Excuse me?
misheard. He said gray.
I have gray pubes. Is that what he said?
Oh, he's weird looking.
I've got 3 gray pubes.
He's good though. He's a true
You
freshman.
wish you looked like that guy.
Yeah, and
Kinda
he's
looks like a
really
lady.
good. But
It's all mental. If I feel like I look like him,
no, I can see. I can see you
Yeah.
say that.
Him
Yeah.
and Law use the same like dandruff shampoo.
head and shoulders, baby.
And Clay
For my
Matthews.
balls, head and boulders. All right. Welcome to my first couple of jokes and stand up. What's it called?
Was it really?
It was
Head
a
and
tag.
boulders? Was
it was
that
a
it?
tag. Yeah.
Let me pull up my soundboard real quick.
That's fire.
I
Yeah,
did,
we did lots of.
Give me a second.
My closing bit was pubic hairdos, and I went over rule of threes. I did 3 of them.
The other joke you said. the other day in
Cornrows.
the car
Hopefully,
was
cornrows
hilarious.
is one.
Which what?
I can't remember when we spoke, like on Thursday or whatever it was, or Friday.
I don't know. I'm so funny so often. It's,
I know.
it's tough. It's tough
So
to.
many, I
Like
can't
a-
Not
remember.
on this podcast. Yeah.
There are
Eric
like
will
5 that apply to that.
even if
Fire.
Eric thinks I made a good joke, he will not
will
laugh on
shit on
purpose.
Rick, it was,
Just so
do
you can
it.
use
Good,
the
he
sound
needs
drops?
that.
It's yeah.
It's like edging.
Yeah.
You know, guys.
So anyway, you didn't tell us why your dad's
Nobody
in
knows what
Clemson
that is.
and why you are.
Yeah.
they know what
Trevor
that is.
Lawrence, and that's it?
They're too squeaky clean. They can't go down the dick hole.
That's correct.
Go down the dick
nor,
hole.
nor do we want
The
to.
rabbit dick
Yeah,
hole.
exactly. I think it's more like we don't want to than we can't.
You guys are professional.
You love the dick hole. That's you're on record as saying so.
Yeah, almost every episode we have to tell people to get close to that mic like it's a robot dick hole.
Yeah.
And you know what? It fucking works almost every time.
Yeah.
If I
You're
don't,
right about it.
if I don't say it that way, they won't do it.
Mhm.
And then I say it that way, and almost everyone's like, "Oh, okay," and they get it. It's so fucking weird.
It is weird.
That's our own little subplot to this show. But
I think because they remember it after.
right,
Yeah.
If you just be like, hey, talking to it, they'll just.
that's why it gives
Forget
such
about
an esoteric way of telling people. So it's like, oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
What do you-
anyway, back
I-
to the game.
Cool
So,
story,
so why
bro.
do you think Clemson, Trevor Lawrence? What else?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough. I honestly don't. Like I'm insufficient data. I watched 3 games seriously all year.
I love
No,
the
I know.
honesty, man. I love
I
the
know.
honesty.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
your schedule.
So just to let y'all know, Law has come out already and said next year we're doing a full season, right?
Yeah.
Just like we used to. Okay,
Yeah.
we took
Back.
a season off. Exactly.
My
Took
li-
a season off.
Life,
good rest.
life has changed for the
Yes,
better. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm not going there.
No, just a
Um,
time perspective. I'm
of
saying
course.
like
Is this live? No, I'm joking.
So you think Clemson, Law? How much money would you wouldn't put your house on it? How much money would you bet?
the
$10.
not money I have.
I mean-
right now, I bet stripper glitter on it.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
exactly.
that's-
So you're not super sure.
That's
You're
all
not-
I've got.
Okay, but I like the fact you're taking the the
Eric, what do you got?
other side. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric,
well,
what do you
it's
think?
It's
Glitter's
insane.
expensive. I
Clemson.
heard.
Coach with a stupid name.
Not if you ask.
There you go.
Dabo.
He's got to be good. I mean, he's there every year.
It's like
Alabama wins by 7.
But the problem is you're going against the best, maybe the best college football coach of all time. Nick
Dabo's
Saban,
like
so.
Smuckers with a name like that. He's got to be good. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'd like to screech the whole podcast to a halt.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. Bring it right back.
Little Ric Flair, baby. Get you fired up. And the game's in San Francisco. I didn't even realize that either.
Yeah.
Or not even. Wait. Santa Clara. Big difference.
Right, but in California. And I read actually.
You know who loves college football?
Who?
The Bay Area. They love it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Fucking love it.
Silicon Valley.
Biggest football.
Well,
fans.
that's what I was going to say. Like, I read a couple days ago that there were football tickets on sale for $150 for the national championship game.
No, attendance is down for it.
Yeah. On StubHub, $150.
Have you even heard about
to
that?
Get in.
That's funny
It's
because
been
I was
down,
saying what happened when I went to the game in Pasadena in 2013 was there was a big snowstorm. So if you got out to LA early, you're fine. People are selling tickets for under face value. So beforehand, you know, this shit gets jacked up like crazy once you know who's in the national championship. This is before the playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
And so like people are buying tickets for $1,500 for the shittiest seats. And then as you're walking up, people are like, look, $100. Someone take it. Because no one could get there. That was a fan.
Yeah, that's true.
And people in LA don't give a fuck. There's too many. My theory is there's too many activities to do.
It's too nice.
So you don't care.
Yeah.
The fact that they have 2 NFL teams is like mind blowing to me.
So why is football so popular here? There's fewer things to do.
Yeah.
This is also the South, though.
But
too.
that's
It's
SEC.
cultural here.
That's everywhere. Columbus, Ohio. The less to do, the more you're a fan.
Yeah.
Right. That's where your time goes.
In Florida, you can play it all year round, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, Florida fans are the worst about it.
I love it.
The best.
I love it. Yeah, it's the best.
So I remember what were the prices?
You're like, this guy's jean shorts are awesome.
Jorts, baby. Jorts. Get it. Call him by his proper name, his proper respect. But when the championship game was in Tampa, remember how much we spent for that ticket? Remember the guy who gave us the best 5-star review? How much money we spent on that ticket? And he came and we did that. You remember that?
Was that a contract?
How much money did we spend on that ticket? It was like $1,000 or something. I remember.
So what is the legal ramifications of us doing a contest on the podcast?
What year was that?
2 years ago.
Statute of limitations for a contract reaches 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Allegedly, everything
should not have brought
just
that
preface
up.
everything with allegedly. Yeah. So
You
guys
did it.
That's what happened.
It is.
Yeah,
No,
that's
100%.
what happened.
I feel protected by you guys. So
We're
bad
trusting
idea.
you.
you guys are the force field for this legal part. So
I'm just telling you what happened. That's
I
all.
just
Right,
go,
I'm sorry.
new number, who dis? When someone asks.
Who mans is this?
So
That's Steve's new catchphrase.
What are those? Wait. No,
so run down what you said. Bama,
Yeah.
Bam by 17. Take it to the bank.
Dabo.
Dabo,
Dabo.
Dabo,
Dabo.
and
I
I'll
knew
go.
somebody
I got
could
you.
not.
I'll go
I
clip
got
some of
you.
the points.
Okay.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left. Anything else on your mind going on?
Well, I want to talk about Auburn played Tennessee this year. Were you aware?
No.
Okay, and if everyone knows, like Steve's team is Tennessee for now. He'll be Florida later.
Steve mentors kids.
And Law's team is Auburn.
Yep.
And what happened? Does anyone know what happened in that game?
I think Tennessee won.
Hot garbage.
So I
beat
think we gotta
Auburn.
go.
You guys.
Is that the 2-minute warning? All right.
But that was expected. Tennessee should have beat Florida. They didn't. They got wiped out.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
But Steve
bail 'em
literally
out.
has been helping the Tennessee volunteer kids out, right?
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. You're not. You're not the pastor that lords
All
over them.
legitimately.
But I mean, like, I think that's cool. I think that's cool that you do that, like via Skype or however you do it.
Kentucky now. One of my boys is on Kentucky right
Oh yeah,
now. Like D-line.
I like it. They shot up the rankings this year.
Yeah,
great.
Kentucky had a great year this
They had
year.
a great year. They won their bowl game too.
So
Any other sports businessy things? Because that's
sports busy. I don't know.
Here's what I was
does
wondering.
LeBron James own part of Clutch, his agency?
100% he does. 100%.
And
By the
do
way,
you
fun,
think he does it through holdings company and stuff?
100%. It's not even in his name. Fun fact though,
Right.
you can't do that in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if like someone big wanted to own an agency, the NFL does not allow it.
Fun fact,
With an
local to
agent.
here, Sloth from the Goonies was John
Yeah.
Matuzak, played defensive end for the University of Tampa that doesn't have a team anymore.
That's the third time that's
Yes.
been said on this podcast.
No,
too.
probably the
Fun
10th
fact.
time, I think. Hold on. Before we
I'd
go,
like to
though,
tell
Law,
y'all that.
we have 30 seconds left. We need to do
you guys.
I got nothing.
for
Don't
old
do
time's
it.
sake.
Don't even do it.
We need to do okay.
We already
That
said
maybe
it. It was Justin Field. That's what I had.
Oh,
was
for
just-
the
okay,
listeners,
we're
this is
taking
where
the
they
money.
do a dick contest.
Yeah,
They pull out their
exactly.
dicks.
No, I
Zipping
want to talk
their
about next year's outlook.
pants
Anything you're looking
down.
at
Okay,
with
anything
Gators?
Steve says next. Okay,
Guys-
this is Steve's conspiracy corner.
Guys,
I'm
put away your
forcing it in.
penises. We don't
Force-
need that.
I'm
Wearing
forcing
two
it.
belts?
He said foreskin.
So we did a
This is
bit.
the X-Files theme. I have
Yes,
to talk
we gotta
over it
talk
or I'll
over it
get
so we
sued
don't
by
get
David
Don't own the rights
Duchovny.
either.
So I was
Anyway,
trying
this
to.
Anything Steve says next is a conspiracy. Go ahead, Steve.
No, listen. Okay, well, we already said about Justin Fields showing to Oklahoma they just didn't pay him enough. I mean,
The
that
tight-
was the
Okay, here-
conspiracy theory.
The
Where's
tightness
Jalen
of-
Hurts going?
Okay, Jalen Hurts.
The
is
tightness
next.
of your shirt is a goddamn conspiracy.
It's
What is
loose.
going on?
Look at all this looseness.
Oh my god.
Listen, once you get in the weight room, you'll have the same problem. Don't worry about it. So,
Anyway, where's
Push-up
Jalen Hurts going? That-
contest.
Once
Jalen
you-
Hurts going?
Once you do bicep curls and go to
USF.
baby gap.
Oh, see, that's a good one. You heard it here
Your
first,
jealousy
guys.
is just raving out now.
Jalen Hurts is going to USF.
That's definitely a conspiracy theory. They don't have enough money to pay him. Jalen Hurts, ready for this? Where's he going? Texas Longhorns.
Okay.
That Jalen Hurts, bro. I
Hold
thought I was gonna get up
Real quick, does he play tomorrow?
No. I mean, unless Tua gets hurt.
Yes.
You think
He played
plays?
last game. Remember they had him a couple snaps?
Yeah,
he wasn't
but
even hurt.
no, but Tua played the entire
By
game.
the way, they
against
had
Oklahoma.
Jalen Hurts playing receiver last game and he caught a pass.
I get a couple gadget plays out of him.
Yeah, you have to use him. This is his last game in Alabama.
I drafted him in my college fantasy league.
Oh, how'd that
or-
work
I
out
got
for you?
clowned like fucking. That was like
He might go to UCLA and play for Chip Kelly.
that was like doing your
Yeah.
pro league and getting Chad
Jalen Hurts.
Johnson or something. They're like, "Bo, what the fuck? He don't even start bitch." And I was like, "Oh,
Whoops.
True story.
yeah."
Well, Seminoles think that he's going to FSU.
No shot.
Which I don't know exactly. I don't think it's a shot.
No shot.
all right. I think
I think we covered it all. That's entire season
a
of college
Houston
football
guy.
in
Wow, we
30
killed
minutes. We
it.
did it.
we go right at that 34 minute mark.
Too early to stop. Should have been 45, 50 minutes, but
Next year.
a lot didn't watch the game.
Even
so
wanting
he's
more.
tapped out of info.
Optimal level, 33
Oh,
minutes
stupid.
for the business podcast. Buckos.
There you go.
Go Vols.